Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel video. In this channel you'll learn English story. If you watch the video, please subscribe, like and share my YouTube channel video. Story: The thief who stole more than gold. In the dry, endless expanse of the desert, a small village clung stubbornly to life. Its mud brick houses, worn by the relentless sun and shifting sands, held generations of stories, whispers of loyalty, betrayal, and survival. In this village lived a man named Rahim, a figure both feared and respected. He was not young, though his eyes retained a sharpness that belied his years. Rahim was a thief, but not an ordinary one. He sought more than gold or jewels. He sought truths hidden behind smiles, secrets buried beneath trust, and moments where loyalty was tested in the harshest ways. The villagers spoke of him in hushed tones. Some called him cunning, others reckless. Yet, they all acknowledged that Rahim carried an understanding of human nature deeper than any scholar or priest in the land. His hands were calloused, his feet hardened by the desert's unforgiving heat, and his mind sharp, always calculating, always observing. But Rahim had grown weary. His days of simple theft, the taking of gold, silver, and jewels, felt hollow. He longed for something beyond mere wealth. And so, one fateful night, under the silver gaze of a crescent moon, Rahim set out toward a caravan that promised treasures beyond imagination. This caravan was unlike any other. It was rumored to carry not just gold, but the secrets of the wealthy and powerful, letters that could topple alliances, pacts written in haste and sealed with trust, and promises that, if broken, could shatter lives. Rahim's heart quickened as he approached the encampment. His plan was simple: infiltrate, steal, and disappear before dawn. But as he slipped silently among the tents, listening to the gentle murmur of the guards and the occasional laughter of travelers celebrating their prosperity, he felt an unexpected hesitation. It was then that he saw them, 4 men, standing side by side, their faces lined with age and experience. They were not wealthy merchants, as Rahim had expected, but guardians of a truth far more valuable than gold. Their eyes met his, steady and unwavering, and in that moment, Rahim understood something he had never before confronted: he was not merely stealing gold tonight. He was about to unravel the very essence of trust, to plunder hearts rather than treasures. Rahim moved forward, his shadow blending with the desert night. He entered the largest tent, the one he had heard held the caravan leader's possessions. Inside, he found chests overflowing with coins, silks, and gems that shimmered like captured sunlight. His hands itched to touch them, to fill his satchel with the spoils. But then he noticed a smaller box, plain and unadorned, tucked in the corner. It was not the gold that drew his attention, but the unmistakable weight of stories held within. Inside, he found letters, diaries, and tokens of trust exchanged between people who believed their secrets would never be revealed. Rahim's fingers trembled as he read the words of love, betrayal, fear, and hope. These were lives laid bare, the hidden hearts of men exposed in ink and parchment. He realized, with a shock that pierced deeper than any dagger, that these treasures were more potent than gold. They held the power to change destinies, to break families, to alter the course of loyalty. For the first time in his life, Rahim hesitated, not out of fear of capture, but because he understood the gravity of what he held in his hands. As dawn approached, the desert began to glow with a muted gold, the kind that does not reflect wealth but the passage of time. Rahim knew he could take these secrets and vanish, leaving chaos and ruin behind. Yet, something in him recoiled. He thought of the lives he could shatter, the trust he could betray, and the weight of sorrow that would follow. For hours, he sat in silence, listening to the wind carry whispers through the tent, imagining the faces of those who would suffer. It was then that the caravan guards discovered him. But instead of anger or violence, they spoke with a calmness that startled Rahim. "We know why you are here," one of the older men said, his voice carrying the authority of someone who had seen decades pass like sand through fingers. "But what you take tonight is not gold alone. It is hearts, trust, and truths that some are not ready to bear." Rahim lowered his head, the weight of his own actions pressing upon him. He realized that in his quest for wealth, he had always overlooked the human cost. He had stolen food from children, possessions from families, and hope from the desperate. But tonight, the lesson was clear: some thefts cannot be measured in coins. Some losses hurt far deeper than stolen wealth. The caravan leader, a man named Omar, offered Rahim a choice. "Take what you desire and leave as you came, or put down your hands and learn that there are treasures which cannot be taken, only understood." Rahim, for the first time, chose understanding over greed. He returned the letters, the diaries, and the tokens, and instead of walking away with gold, he walked away with something far heavier: the knowledge that his actions had consequences beyond his own life. From that night on, Rahim's life changed. He returned to his village, but not as a thief seeking gold. He became a guardian of trust, a keeper of secrets, and a man who understood that the true wealth of life lies not in possession but in the bonds we nurture. He helped families reconcile, prevented betrayals before they happened, and became a silent force guiding others through moral labyrinths that he once navigated for selfish gain. Word of Rahim's transformation spread through the desert like wildfire. People who had once feared him now sought his counsel. They marveled at how a man who had stolen for profit could become a man who protected what was priceless. And though Rahim never returned to theft, the lessons of that night remained etched in his heart. He understood that loyalty, trust, and the truths hidden in human hearts were more valuable than the glitter of gold. Years later, when Rahim's hair had grown white and his steps slowed, villagers would recount the story of the thief who had stolen more than gold. Children listened wide-eyed as elders described how a man had entered the night seeking riches but left carrying wisdom that changed every life he touched. And in the stillness of the desert, under the same crescent moon that had witnessed his choice, Rahim would smile quietly, knowing that the greatest theft he ever committed was the one that freed him from greed and taught him the value of humanity. That night, long ago, had been a test. It had exposed hidden hearts, proven the depth of loyalty, and shown that some losses, trust broken, secrets revealed, bonds strained, hurt far deeper than anything money could buy. Rahim had learned this truth, and in learning it, he had stolen something far more enduring than gold: the understanding that life's true treasures are not held in chests, but in the hearts of those we touch, the promises we honor, and the lives we choose to protect. And so, The thief who once walked the desert with empty hands now carried a wealth beyond measure, a wealth of lessons learned, hearts mended, and lives changed. He had sought gold, but he found something greater, the priceless truth that some treasures are not for taking, they are for understanding, safeguarding, and passing on to those wise enough to recognize their worth.